morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We hope it is good. Welcome to another edition of Geeks Who Like Sports. As always, I am Ray Carsillo in constantly on fire, California. Join my best friend the entire world over in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Elias. Lee, how are you doing today?
The day started with a cool 56-degree morning before a high of 72 degrees will take over the greater Philadelphia area here, Ray. So we're doing quite fine here in almost hockey land.
It's already 99 degrees here in LA.
99, my God.
99. Friday, it's going to be 109.
109.
Yeah, hottest day of the year by far.
In September.
In September. Yeah.
Why? Why, Ray?
Yeah. Well, because they faked this out. They looked like it was good. It's the fake out. It's the summer fake out all the time. They actually, LA, the weather, the global weather pattern heard us talking about fall last week and was like, "Oh, you think fall is soon?"
False.
No. Fire! Burn! Summer, still summer until we say otherwise.
They always told us in broadcasting school not to start with the weather because it's like everyone does that. But this is the best weather report you guys get.
100%.
You can leave it in Kentucky, but you want to know what's going on in Philly and Los Angeles.
Yes.
109 versus 71.
Yes.
Hey, that's a 40-degree difference almost.
Almost. Yeah.
It's almost hockey season. We're getting there.
Yeah.
But prior to hockey season, Ray,
yes,
it's maybe the greatest sports season on the planet. I don't have a problem with that as a hockey fan, which is the NFL season. And this is our annual NFL preview, right?
Yes.
So basically 2 schmucks with microphones talk about football, and you get to hear it. But you must love football if you listen to this show. I always say it, Ray, every year. I love football because I get to be a fan of that sport. Even though I have coached it a little bit, hockey's more my jam in terms of coaching, and football is I can watch any football game. I could watch 98% of the football games.
Yes, me too. Absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with that wholeheartedly until we get to like the very end of the season and you get like 2, 3, and 12 teams together or something like that's
like if the Browns are playing the Colts, I don't necessarily need to watch that one.
Sure. Unless there are playoff implications on the line, then it's a different case. But then but yeah, no, it's going to be a big football show, folks. We got a little bit of video game news, a little bit of baseball news, but we're going to be heavy on pro football, even a little college football too. Some big week one upsets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is refreshing because you know what's happening, Ray? These guys are getting paid now.
Yes.
And the rankings are going out the window.
Yeah, they don't matter.
They don't matter.
Here's the good thing is that and we'll get into this. We're going to start with the pros, but we'll get into college. But with the 12-seed playoff now starting this year, it used to be where you lost week 1. Your season might have already been over. Yeah,
which is stupid.
Which is awful.
Stupid.
Awful. But now you might see a 2-3 loss team still make the playoffs. Yes. Their hope is not completely dead here the day after Labor Day in college football for teams like LSU and Florida State, who we will get into.
Yeah, rough one, but Boston prevails, unfortunately.
Yes. Well, did Florida State lose?
Florida State lost to Boston.
Florida State lost. Hold on a second. Because didn't Florida State also lose to Georgia Tech? Is Florida State already 0-2?
We can go to the interweb and find out.
The interweb is useless. Here in California. Because then their season might be over. Whoopsie.
We made a mistake.
Florida State lost to Georgia Tech 24-21 in the year. And oh my God, they lost to Boston College also.
You see, I was waiting for this reaction just to see your eyes. If you're listening to the show, you need to see shocked Ray because I knew the answer, Ray. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah,
because you look it up.
I forgot that Florida State played twice technically in week 1 of this extended weird college football game. Florida State, your season is over.
It's tough. That's a tough one.
You lost twice. All right, we're doing college first because we're already deep.
You might become unranked here in a moment.
Yeah, you lost 2 games to 2 unranked teams.
Yeah,
you lost to Georgia Tech and Boston College. Florida State, your season's over. Wow, Seminoles suck. Holy cow!
Yep.
I mean, look, and I understand, obviously, Jaden Daniels left for the pros. We'll get into that a bit. Obviously, there's been a lot of turnaround there, but they still had a great defense, supposedly. And you lost 28-13 to Boston College?
Yeah, they lost worse to BC than Georgia Tech.
Right, at least you had the excuse of going to Ireland and all that other stuff. And Georgia Tech, actually, I think, is an underrated team. But you lose by 2 touchdowns to Boston College Golden Eagles?
Who will now be ranked.
I agree. Florida State, you're done.
What's
You're
funny
done.
about Florida State, Ray, is that the elementary school team that I am a coaching staff person on, the head coach's fiance, her fiance was a coach at Florida State until this year, which is like, I'm sure he's sitting back now, both upset, but also like, oh, I dodged a bullet there.
Really dodged the bullet there. I mean, yeah, so you had Florida State got upset twice.
Yeah.
In the matter of 10 days.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That is awful. Awful. You blew it. You blew it. Well, so there's one team whose season is over after the first week of college football, and it is Florida State's, because, I mean, even if you run the table, I wouldn't put them in the top 12.
It depends. It depends on how the season falls, obviously.
I guess, but wow. The other big upset, which I did watch on Sunday, was LSU falls to USC. Obviously, that was a big game out here in LA.
USC is serious. They seem really serious this year.
I think that USC is going to climb the rankings very quickly, not just after beating LSU, who, by the way, has now lost 5 years in a row. Week 1, LSU has lost.
Wow.
They put themselves behind the 8 ball 5 years in a row. Now, mind you, this is 13 versus 23. I don't think LSU will fall nearly as far as Florida State will fall.
No, but Florida State should fall off.
Be unranked. They should be unranked. 100%.
If you lose to 2 unranked teams and are still ranked, I do not know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I think
it does not mean they can't get themselves back in, but that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, no, that's terrible.
And listen, they were ranked 10th before the Boston College game, which is also kind of weird when you think about it.
Well, they were 10th before Georgia Tech too, because again, technically, both of these games fell in the week 1 period. It's going to be interesting going forward over the next several weeks.
Well, the poll's already out, right? So, like, I'm looking at this right now. Like, it says we have it right here. Week 2, Georgia's now the number 1 ranked team. Alabama's number 4. Number 10 now is Michigan.
That makes sense.
Let's go all the way down. Let's see where they are.
They got to be off.
They are off the chart. Well, they're below 25 is what we should say.
Right. Yeah. So, Georgia State's number 1. No surprise there. And then USC, credit them. USC came back. USC was down, and they scored 14 points in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, USC is now 13th. They went up 10 spots. Try to find the biggest jumps of the week.
I mean, that's
Miami went up 7 spots.
All right.
LSU went down 5 spots, and Clemson went down 11 spots to 25.
I mean, Clemson, to be fair, that's because they didn't just lose to Georgia. Georgia spanked them.
Right. And check this out, Ray. I'm looking at this now. Dropped from rankings, Florida State and Texas A&M.
Well, and Texas A&M also got out tough one. They lost by 10 to Notre Dame. Notre Dame was 7. They were 20.
Right.
Like that's a tough one.
Well, here's the deal. Texas A&M and Boston College were right on and Boise State for that matter, right on the cusp of making the rankings this week.
So Boston College, they're right knocking on the door. And hey, credit where it's due. Rutgers destroyed Howard,
right,
44-7.
New Jersey. I drove by that stadium this weekend.
Still nowhere close. The only team to lose in the Big Ten, which is now I think 18 teams big or something, which is ridiculous, was Minnesota. Minnesota lost. They're the only 0-1 team in the Big Ten now.
Well, just to give everybody an idea of how these rankings work, it's week 2, and only 2 of the top 25 teams are ranked without a win. So LSU and Clemson are the only 2 teams left on the rankings with 1 loss. That's their record, 0-1.
Right, they're 0-1.
Everybody else is either 2-0.
Very early. It's still very early. But yeah, wow. I didn't realize. I forgot that Florida State played last night because I was busy because it was Labor Day. And
I was watching that game. That's why I was like, oh boy, Ray's gonna have a fun time with this. But
see, I did not watch
Bama up to number 4 and Texas up to number 3. And Notre Dame up to number 5. It's a good top 5 right now, but top 12 right now would be a good playoff. USC teetering there.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun college football season with the expanded playoffs now. But Florida State, you're out.
Goodbye.
I don't care what happens the rest of the season. I can't see. I mean, again, like you said, you really do have to wait and see.
You would have, if you beat a top 5 team, you'll get back in the rankings. That should happen.
Yes. So I don't have the Florida State schedule offhand, but
I'm sure they will play a top 5 team at some point.
Yeah, they'll play some of the other. Yeah, because of where they play.
It will be scheduled that way. I can look at their schedule real quick, and then we can go off to the NFL.
Yeah,
Florida State. Here we go. Let's see who they're playing. They'll play Clemson, Miami, Notre Dame.
They got Clemson. They got Clemson next.
No, not next. I'm just telling you of the rest of their schedule. I'm looking at their full schedule right now. As of today, they will play Clemson on October 5th. They will play Miami, who's ranked 12th, on October 26th. And they will play Notre Dame November 9th, who is ranked 5 and is probably expected to stay there. But to get back into the top 12, I'd say is extremely unlikely at this point.
I mean, I'll say it right now. I mean, if they lose that Clemson game, their season's over.
If they lose any of these games, their season's over.
Yeah. So.
But yes, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Crazy start to the college football season. So we kick things off with college this week. Now we're going to go to the pros, because the pros are kicking off this week. This Thursday is correct. It is the Thursday night game. The NFL, double check my calendar, because I'm all screwed up with Labor Day. Boy,
well, I know the Eagles play Friday, so I believe you're right.
Yes. Baltimore and Kansas City's Thursday. That's what I'm looking for.
Maybe play Friday, because there's a lot of fires down in where they're playing. So that may
we're gonna get into that too, because boy oh boy is the NFL regretting playing a game in Brazil.
Stupid.
We'll kick it off. We'll kick it off with the tertiary stories before we go into our season predictions. Darius Slay of the Eagles went on his podcast this week, and he is just one of the latest of the many players who are participating in this game in Brazil to complain and be like, this is a terrible idea. We hate being here. We are basically quarantined to our hotel because of fire and crime and violence. And this was the worst idea ever. So great job, NFL. And I'm sure, and also, by the way, I'm sure all these comments are just endearing American football to South American fans.
You're right. So, they did a great job. We hate you. You hate us. Goodbye.
Yes. This will never happen again. Screw you, South America. We're getting the hell out of here as soon as we can. But I mean, look, this was talked about weeks ago with Josh Jacobs of the Packers saying the same thing. And it's more and more players now are speaking out against this particular game because again, players, it's an inconvenience, but the players don't usually mind going to Europe. Going to Brazil right now with the way Brazil is, not good.
When they said you can't wear green, that was pretty much the you should not go here moment.
Yes. And then especially when you had the two teams be the Kelly Green wearing Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers.
It's in the name.
This was the NFL rarely has this big of a swing and a miss, but this was a pretty big swing and a miss. The game hasn't even been played yet, and I think it's a swing and a miss.
I agree.
So
watch it be the greatest football game ever played now.
It's that's what's going to happen, right? Of course, now that we're downplaying it, but look, and I'm not going to lie, we're still going to watch. But
I'm going to watch.
Yeah, well, you're an Eagle fan, but like
big time.
Yeah. Also, on other NFL news, oh boy. The New York Giants unretired the great Ray Flaherty's number 1 for Malik Neighbors. And this is so dumb.
It's dumb. It's really just dumb.
So dumb. First off, look, there are plenty of places. There are a lot of New York franchises that have had the number retired multiple times, right? The Rangers have both retired. Andy Bathgate's number. And I'm blanking on who else.
Wait. I don't believe they were unretired. I think they were retired together.
Yes, and that's the thing. Is the same with Bill Dickey and Yogi Berra, right? Yeah. Bill Dickey wore number 8. Then Yogi Berra, who took over for him right after, wore number 8. And then the Yankees were like, they're both amazing. We're going to retire it twice for both Bill Dickey and Yogi Berra.
You can retire a number twice. You can't unretire a number.
This is so stupid. This is so stupid. And Ray Flaherty is probably spinning in his grave.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
And not only this, but now Malik Neighbors, you have such huge shoes to fill, right? You're being like, I'm requesting the number 1 being retired. You now have to live up to a football legend. And you have to, as a rookie, in my opinion, because you wanted to wear number 1 that badly? Really?
It doesn't make any sense, right? You don't unretire numbers. It's sacrilegious. Again, you can double retire a number at the same time. Or
yes.
The only other extremely rare case that I can think of where something like this happened is where the Pittsburgh Penguins retired Mario Lemieux's number and put him in the Hall of Fame when he had cancer. He came back from cancer. Guess what? They still didn't technically unretire his number.
Right, it's still his number, right?
It was his number. He's playing with it.
Right. It's or even like when Don Mattingly came back to be the bench coach for the Yankees. Well, Don Mattingly could wear his number 23 because that was his number as a player.
Number. Yes. You don't ever.
Number.
I can't ever think of a time where someone unretired number. It's sacrilegious. It's wrong. All right.
It's egotistical of the player, in my opinion.
Well, the answer should just be no.
No.
You cannot do that. And then on top of it, it's beyond egotistical because it's like this is someone's
and I get that the family gave him his blessing and all that. I get that.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
I still don't agree with
unless there's something I'm missing and you're missing that makes sense here. Like if it was a family legacy or something, maybe I could see that, which it's not.
No.
All right. But it's like when they killed Superman and brought him back to life. Now you can unretire numbers, right? That's a really horrible precedent. But this is where the New York Giants have been for 5 years. I don't know.
They're lost. They're the New York Giant. They're the New York Montreal Canadian Giants.
What was the benefit of doing? Like, what is the like? I'm just thinking, like, what good can come from this?
None.
Nobody cares that he's not wearing number 1. In fact, you endear yourself to the fan base when you say, you know what, I'm not going to wear number 1 because it's retired. I'll wear 11 or whatever.
Yeah, or number. I think it was going to be number 9 or whatever. I think was
That's an awesome number. It's my number.
It's like. Jesus, Malik Neighbors, you are not endearing yourself to the Giants fan base here with this move. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, it's just a loser move. I will say the only good thing is the Giants' new logo at the center of their field to celebrate their 100th anniversary. That's the new hotness right there. That is fire.
Cool. That was cool. Did you just say new hotness?
Oh yeah.
That's
Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet. Yeah, you feel a little rizzed out.
So it's a Riz. It's all about the Riz, the Skibbity toilet there at Giant Stadium, the air conditioner in the swamp. Yeah. So there we go. See, look at that. I'm hip. I'm cool. I'm up on the lingo. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Did you just say I'm hip?
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
You're feeling a bit skibbity today. I can tell.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You're the Rizzler, Ray. You're the Rizzler, Ray.
I'm the Rizzler?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know because I don't know what it means.
You get charisma. You said that with
a good thing.
Charisma.
Great. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Fantastic. Anyway, now we're going into our big football preview.
Football, the foosball.
32 teams, 7 playoff spots per conference. We're gonna start in the AFC East, and we're gonna loop our way back around to the NFC East. We're gonna end in the NFC East because that's obviously where both me and Lee reside in terms of our fandoms.
Go Birds!
G-Man. Not gonna be saying that a lot this year. No. G-Man.
You're hurting my ears.
Getting it out of the way now because I'm not gonna be able to do it most of the year. So G-Man. All right, I'm good for a little bit. All right, AFC East. AFC East.
AFC East. I'm ready.
I don't know what to predict for a lot of this division because I'll say this: the Patriots are going to suck. That's an easy one.
We all know the Patriots will come in fourth. Yes.
Yes, that is easy.
Across the board, we will agree. Do you want to go bottom to top or top to bottom?
That's the thing. Like,
we already started bottom, so fourth place will be the Patriots.
If Aaron Rodgers sucks, the Jets are in third.
I'm picking the Jets third. Based on age, based on the fact that they have not shown me much that Aaron Rodgers is going to take them to the promised land.
No,
I'll say this: it's possible, but they've shown me nothing to believe that right now. So I'm picking the Jets third in this division.
I am the exact same. I think the Jets are third. But to your point, if Aaron Rodgers plays like Aaron Rodgers of 4 years ago, then I think this division is vulnerable enough that the Jets could win this division if Aaron Rodgers plays to his potential. But at 40 years old, I just don't think that's very high.
If he was 30, I would have
Sure.
different.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And look, and I get it. The Jets have a good defense. They've got some good players on offense. This team, literally, it's a 4-win swing. This team is either a 7-win team or an 11-win team, and it all comes down to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and I'll say I expect a hot start from them, but I think they will cool off.
I think they're going to get hit in the mouth by San Francisco week 1, though. I think San Fran's going to handle them easily.
Yeah, this is where like a lot of things can happen. They're a bit of a wild card for the season, but I'm putting them at 3 right now just because look, the Dolphins and Bills I think are just better teams.
So do I, and I think that even with all the weapons that Josh Allen has lost, I think the Bills are actually going to win this division, and Miami's going to get in second place.
That is how I have it picked as well.
Because Miami has lost so much on the defensive side of the ball that even if they're able to put up points, I still think that their ceiling is 9 to 10 wins, and I think the Bills will squeak out the division. I think it's going to be very close at the top 3. I think Bills, Dolphins, and Jets will be very close, but I think the Bills win this division.
Yeah, I think the Bills are the more seasoned team. They seem to be rolling. I like Mike McDaniel, but he might be losing that room a little bit. We'll find out.
Yeah, we will see for sure.
But you and I in agreement. Yeah, Bills, Dolphins, Jets.
I'm going to write this all down. So we can come back.
Only a madman would write this stuff out.
Oh yeah. I have a pen, I have paper, I have everything nearby. Look at this.
The Rizzler.
Look at that. AFC East, Bills, Dolphins, Jets, because we are smart, and Pats. Lee and Ray, total agreement. All right, we move on now to the AFC North. This is an interesting division. This one I think is actually easier to predict the winner. But we'll start at the bottom. This is another one of those divisions that, just like last year, I think every team could have a winning record again.
Yeah, this is probably the toughest division to pick.
But I'm going to have it play out basically I'm going to play it a little bit similar to last year. Whereas last year, the Bengals were in last place because of the injury to Joe Burrow. I'm going to say Joe Burrow is going to stay healthy this year. It will not be the Bengals in last. I will say it will be the Browns. I have the Browns at the bottom of the division.
Well, it's the Steelers and the Browns are kind of interchangeable here, aren't they?
Yes, because the thing is, the question with the Steelers, similar to like what quarterback player you're going to add to Deshaun Watson.
Right.
What Russell Wilson are you going to get?
Right.
And do you go to Justin Fields if Russell Wilson struggles, and then what do you get out of Justin Fields?
Right. It's a tough one. Excuse me. I'll tell you what, Ray. I'll go Steelers just to throw a little wrench into this because they're so interchangeable. So one of us has to be right.
There we go. So you got Steelers
just for the listeners.
Yeah.
I got Steelers bottom, Browns third, and you've got Browns bottom, Steelers third. Is that fair?
That is exactly how I predicted it. Yes.
Right. The funny part is at the top of the division, you have the same problem. The Ravens and the Bengals are kind of interchangeable again.
Yeah, I'm going to go Baltimore at the top, though, because I think that the addition of Derrick Henry to that offense is going to make it something special. I don't know if Ravens will go very deep in the playoffs because that's typically what happens. But I think the Bengals have a bounce back here for sure. I mean, to me, they're the top wild card team. I think in the AFC is going to be the Bengals. But I think the Ravens win this division.
Well, here's the funny part.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I do agree with you. But I'm going to play my own little wild card dark horse notion here and say the Bengals win the division, the Ravens come in second. I'll tell you why I have that feeling. I think on paper you're correct, but I think Joe Burrow being back, and I think the fact that he's got something to prove, and this was a Super Bowl bound team not too long ago.
Yeah,
they're still that team, and I think that they're pissed and quietly ready to win.
Yeah, no, I mean that is fair because they were. If before Burrow got hurt, the Bengals were going to be a team to contend with. They were at least going to be a playoff team, and they're only 2 years removed from their Super Bowl appearance against the Rams. 3 years.
That long ago. Yeah.
3 years. 3 years. 3 years ago. My apologies.
Yeah. My point is that they're ready to win, and they said like that. And again, I have a lot of respect for the Ravens, but they seem like to me they're kind of like first or second, and I think this is a second place here.
That's fair. I think they both make the playoffs.
Easily. But I think easily. Yeah. Again, by the way, this is all barring no major injuries for all the teams.
Yes, of course. Yeah, obviously. That's what happened to the Bengals last year, right? Burrow got hurt, and then the season went by the wayside. Yeah. And they still finished 9-8 and above 500, which says a lot about that team. So, well, like you said, they are hungry. The AFC South, this is going to be an interesting one.
Well, what's interesting about the AFC South is we all know who's going to win this division, but picking 2 through 4 is impossible.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say the Titans are the biggest rebuilding team right now. I think they're going to be in the basement. To me, they scream 6-11.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think that what's his face who drinks all the mayo before every game or whatever, all the mayonnaise. Yeah.
Sorry, that's the sound I
Yeah.
make when I hear people drink mayo. I mean, I have
Yeah.
no problem with people who dip their French fries in mayo, but drinking it, no.
Yeah, what's it? Will Levis, right? Who literally is to the point where Will Levis, who's now sponsored by Hellman's. He look like, and I'm being 100% serious. He has his own commercial with all Hellman's and stuff, and it's just Titans are in last place. Mayonnaise boy in last place.
Mayonnaise boy in last place. I think I'm going to agree with you on that. I can't, good conscience, allow anybody who drinks a jar of mayonnaise to be in anywhere above fourth.
Yeah, I think that, and now here, this, like you said, this is where it gets tough. But I think that Anthony Richardson will stay healthy this year. They don't have Gardner Minshew behind him as the backup anymore. But I think that this will kind of almost be like a redo of Richardson's rookie year as he continues to grow and develop. And as long as he stays healthy, the Colts will be competitive again, but I can't see them really competing for a playoff spot. I think that this is going to be, they're a third place team on the uptrend, but I think they're in third place this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's mainly because I think the Jags are just a better team and are in a better position to win. So I think we're going to align here again, Ray. Like Colts in third, Jags in second, Texans in first,
and the Texans have to be the team.
Yeah, they unanimously in first. Like if
they have
that division's
to be the
not close.
Yeah, the way Stroud has played, they've gotten him more weapons now. That defense is still rock solid. That is the South is, to me. Yeah,
they could be very dangerous, actually, especially with the division they're in.
I think if anybody in the AFC, there's only two real threats to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
and the Texans are one of them.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Speaking of the Chiefs, we move now to the AFC West.
Yay! This might be the easiest division to call, in my opinion.
I think so. I think Broncos in the bottom.
Well, I had Raiders, believe it or not.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe it's not as easy as I thought. I had the Raiders.
You think the Minshew dynasty is going to struggle there in Vegas?
Look, I love Gardner Minshew, but he's not a starting quarterback.
Probably not. Okay. Not for a whole year anyway.
No, he's not. I love him. I love the guy, but he's not a starting quarterback.
The reason why I picked the Broncos is I trust Gardner Minshew more than Zach Wilson / Bo Nix / whoever they're going to trot out under there in Denver.
Yeah, but I just think that the Broncos are a better overall team. Like I'm just not putting it down to one position here, and like I just think when you especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Sure.
This is hard because I don't necessarily want the Raiders to do bad. I like the Raiders. I want them to win.
Yeah.
I don't like, actually, I like Las Vegas as a sports city anyway, but I have them fourth, and I have the Broncos as third.
Yeah. See, I have the Raiders as third.
Look at this controversy on the air. 2 and 1, we're gonna have.
Yeah, I mean, 2. I'm having the Chargers.
Chargers and Chiefs. Yeah.
And the Chiefs at the top. Yeah, I think the Chargers. This is what's interesting about the AFC is, so we've got our 4 division winners: Bills, I say Ravens, you say Bengals, Texans, and we agree on the Chiefs. We agree though in the North that whoever's in second is getting a wild card.
Right.
So now, I think.
Yeah, I'll tell you who I think, but yeah,
I think the Jags and Chargers get the other wild cards.
You do.
I don't think the Browns and Steelers are going to have enough to get the wild card spots.
What about the Ravens?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, so.
Oh, you're talking about the bottom 2 spots. Sorry.
I'm talking about the bottom 2. We both agree.
Yes,
we both agree that the 5 seed will either be the Bengals or Ravens. Whoever loses,
100%.
Whoever's in second place in that division will be the 5 seed. So
yes,
we're actually.
I apologize. I did not hear how you were saying that. Yes, I agree with that.
So then the 6 and 7 seeds then. I mean, look, again, I think the Steelers are going to, and the Browns are both going to be competitive. The Dolphins, I think, might be competitive. The Jags, the Chargers. I mean, maybe the Dolphins sneak in. I don't know.
I think that, look, the Jets could very well be there.
And sure, the Jets could sneak in too, if again, depending on what Aaron Rodgers shows up.
Yeah, I think Dolphins are likely. Okay. But if it's not the Dolphins, then it might be the Chargers. I mean, but I want to see the Jets there. I do want to see Aaron Rodgers in the postseason again.
I do not.
But I know you don't. But it could be the Jags. It could be the Chargers. Could be the Dolphins, you know?
Yeah. No, I here's the reason why I think the Chargers is because I think they still have a decent defense. And now that Harbaugh is coaching up Herbert,
yeah,
I think that even without a lot of weapons, I still think that the Chargers are going to be dangerous.
Sure.
More dangerous than in years past. I'm going to say this, under Harbaugh, a Chargers team that didn't know how to finish previously will, I think, play a full 60 minutes now a lot more consistently.
That's fair.
And I think the Chargers can get that last wild.
I have no problem with the Chargers being in the playoffs.
Yeah. So, although all of LA might, because nobody out here cares. We move over now to the NFC West. This is a tougher one.
Where are we going? Sorry, the NFC West.
The NFC West.
Okay.
I think
everyone's favorite division.
Yeah. I think the basement is the easiest one. I think the Cardinals are going to finish in last.
Yeah. Again, I'd say there's a little bit of interchangeability between them and the Seahawks, but I would pick the Cardinals if I had to pick.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Kyler Murray is fully healthy, I think they're definitely going to improve over last year.
Yeah,
but
it's a strong division.
To me, the Seahawks are perennially a 9-8 team or an 8-9 team. They're always hovering around 500, and because of that, I feel like they're going to be right there. I think them and the Rams are going to be neck and neck, and I'm going to go Seahawks third, Rams second.
Yeah, I would agree with that. With Niners taking the top.
With the Niners, obviously, then at the top. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. A lot of this is going to come down to McVay too.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't been coaching like he used to for whatever reason. Like, but the guy is like an idiot savant with football.
I mean, the Rams almost knocked off the Lions in the playoffs last year.
That's
like
right.
they were dangerously close, and it came down to the wire. But I mean, look, I think either way, the Niners are running away with this division. The Niners are one of the favorites to win the conference, and I think with good reason. Yeah, so I think we're in agreement again. Niners, Rams, Seahawks, and the Cardinals in the basement.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to the NFC South.
Everyone's favorite division. Again, this is one of those. It's top heavy, bottom heavy, and it's tough to discern between 3 and 4 and 1 and 2.
I mean, I think this is the NFC South is it's arguably the worst division in football.
It's not arguably, it is.
It is, yeah.
And I would say this though. I think the battle is 3 and 4. It's either Saints and Panthers. 1 and 2 is either Bucks Falcons. I don't think Bucks Falcons are 3 and 4, and I don't think Saints Panthers are 1 and 2.
See, I think Panthers are far and away the worst team. I think Panthers are 4 seed
easily. Yeah, but I'm saying that the Saints could easily be there too if they have.
I think any of these teams are just 2 or 3 weird bad games within the division away from dropping to the completely the other opposite end of the division. Absolutely.
Right. But I will agree with you here with the Panthers because I just think the Saints have a little more to offer. But yeah,
I think
the division winner though, that one's a little tougher.
Honestly, you're gonna have another 9-8 team, I think, win this division.
Yeah.
And there's so many question marks around the 3 other teams. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say the Falcons are in third.
Really? See, I have the Falcons in first.
Wow.
The Falcons and then Bucks come in second.
And you have I have the Bucks at the top.
Controversy.
So that puts me Saints second. So you have Saints third.
I do.
So why do you think the Falcons are the top team in the South?
I just think they have a little more energy, and I think that it sounds people think I'm being crazy here, but the Bucks are just not been the same team since Brady left. And it's I don't think the story is there for them to want to win. I think the Falcons have a reason. You know, I get big into that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
But what's their reason?
They haven't done crap in years. That's the reason.
the problem here, they already have a quarterback controversy.
It's okay. Sometimes that plays out for the better. And I think that sometimes that competitive nature, Ray, I don't think quarterback controversies are always a bad thing to start the season.
I
think they make guys work harder.
I think the Falcons have some really nice pieces. I think Kirk Cousins is not the guy. And I think that I think the Falcons, even after giving that big contract, don't think he's the guy because they drafted Michael Penix behind him.
And this is why I think that's a good situation. Look, you can utilize quarterback controversy to your advantage if you know what the hell you're doing. All right. And again, like you have the mentorship mentee role, but also if Cousins is a good guy, all right, I've always gotten that impression.
Sure,
right?
He loves going to Coles and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but my point is he's a guy that can move to the backup position and do it right.
But I think maybe, but I just don't. I think I disagree.
Hey, write it down.
I disagree because of how he left Washington.
Yeah,
for sure.
Write it down. Write it down.
I think Kirk Cousins. I wrote it down. I think Kirk Cousins, if he's not starting, I think he's going to be a cancer.
Okay,
I really do.
We'll
I think
he's
gonna be a headache. And then I still like Derek Carr as the Saints, and I still like Kamara and the other pieces they have there. If they can put it together, right? If they can put it together, I think the Saints could be dangerous. But again, I like Baker Mayfield with the Bucs. They showed something last year. I think they locked up Evans for the long term. I think that's a great quarterback.
I don't think that they replicate that success this year.
Yeah. See, and I disagree. See, I think
we have to disagree. It's a ranking. That's the whole point of the show.
Yes. No, I'm just saying. We're
discussing. We're
arguing over this.
I can't go drink some mayo, you jerk.
No, that's the other Southern Division.
I know. I'm just going to use that as my thing for the next 12 months.
But yeah, no, I think they may not beat. Maybe they don't beat a sad Eagles team in the wild card round this year. But like, I think the Bucs.
I don't think the Eagles are going to be in the wild card, but we'll talk about that later.
We will talk about that in a second. But I think the Bucs still win this division just because it is a soft division.
Yeah, okay, it's fine. I'm looking for it. Again, I think they're somewhat interchangeable, but yes, I just think the storyline is stronger. Can we talk about the Vikings being in last place now?
Yes, we are 100% in agreement that the Vikings are going to be in line. This is the one time I'll say this. If the Giants don't beat the Vikings week 1, the Giants may lose every game this year, but we'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, to me, this is the Vikings with all the injuries, with everybody they've lost in this offseason. It is Justin Jefferson and his less than amazing friends. And I just don't see the Vikings doing anything at all without a quarterback, without anyone.
Yeah, they don't have the pieces to be competitive.
No, this is gonna be a bad year for Viking fans. Yeah, sorry, guys.
A 1 or 2 win season. I'm not gonna lie.
You're hoping Sam Darnold doesn't see ghosts up in Minnesota, because McCarthy, who you drafted, and honestly, that was the right pick at that point in the draft. He got hurt. He's out the whole year. He's gonna miss his whole rookie year. It's bad. That is bad. Bad news. Bad news. Bears.
What is it, Ray?
It's bad news. Bears.
Bad news. Bears. They won though. Kind of.
Speaking of theirs, yeah. I put the Bears third.
Yeah, it's this. I think this division's a little easier to call, but yeah, Vikings at the bottom, Bears are third, and it's because the Lions and Green Bay are stronger teams.
100%. I think. Look, I think Caleb Williams will have a better rookie year than Justin Fields did, and I think that they've obviously got him some amazing pieces around him. But to me, they're a 7-win team. They're on the uptrend. They're on the uptrend
easily,
for sure.
Easily. But they're not in a position to compete with Green Bay or Detroit.
No, I think it's gonna be closer than last year, but I have Green Bay in the 2 spot and Detroit winning the division again.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because Detroit's momentum after last season, I don't want it to stop.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't let it stop.
No.
Detroit, you have a mission here to not suck anymore.
Yeah.
Green Bay doesn't need that mission. Green Bay has plenty of NFL lore storylines. They can go a few seasons without winning. Detroit, you have got to win this division, because if you go back to your losing ways this season, it will continue.
Yeah, no, they have to keep it going. And I'll say this, and I think Green Bay got better on defense, but their offensive line got worse. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all balances out. Maybe Jordan Love's okay. They got him Josh Jacobs now in the backfield, which I think is an upgrade over what they had, but a slight upgrade.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Lions are just
they're the team
their
to
window.
There's no reason not to pick them again.
They are one of the 3 teams that should be able to win the NFC. It should be the Lions, the Niners, and the Eagles. To me, are the 3 teams that could win the NFC this year.
Right, and unfortunately, as we turn towards the NFC East, we are going to agree on the 4th place team.
Are we?
I hope so, Ray, because you're not better than the Commanders.
Probably not.
I just knocked some sense into you, I think. You were going to do something, and I was like, no, dude. You are going to – listen, I'm a homer, and I've got every reason to pick the Eagles to win this division, and I'm going to pick them to win this division. But I have plenty to back me in that statement. Do not pick those Giants for anything other than for the Commanders have new ownership. They have every reason to fight. The Giants look like
Sure.
poo. Okay, and again,
let's get it out of the way. Eagles 1, Cowboys 2, right?
yes, that is how I'm picking it. I am, and I'll tell you what, a lot of people are picking the Cowboys over the Eagles.
No.
And I think if that's true, you haven't been watching the football games in the NFC East for a long time.
No.
It will be a fight for 1 and 2.
Yeah.
The Eagles don't easily walk away with this division.
No,
okay?
I think I looked at your schedule earlier. I think you split with Dallas this year. I think the Eagles go 12-5 though.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're going to be, look, this is what the Eagles have. And not insider information, but I know that team better than any other team. Ray, they are pissed. They are pissed at how last season ended. They are not in despair mode. They are not feeling sad for themselves. They are pissed, and they want to win, and they feel like they owe it to themselves, the city, and the entire NFL to never do that again.
Yeah.
Dallas has not that. Dallas has, we haven't won since the 90s. It's the same bullshit story.
Yeah.
It's like I used to say about the Washington Capitals before they won the cup. Until they win the cup, I'm not picking them to win the cup.
Yeah.
Dallas has done nothing to show me that. They're getting older. I mean, again, a lot of things can happen. It's not as an easy 1-2 pick in the world, but I'm picking the Eagles. I'm picking Dallas second.
Yeah. And again, it's the same thing. It's always questions about Dak. It's always questions about how they're going to re-sign everybody. Yeah. It's the same thing every year, and it's going to be that way until, unfortunately, I hate to sound morbid, until Jerry Jones kicks the bucket and his control, his emperor vice-like grip on that front organization goes to one of his kids.
We've seen this before. Actually thinking about Chicago Blackhawks hockey, their owner died and they won a cup real quick. No offense to that guy, the Wirtz family, but Ray, I'm picking the Giants fourth. Outside Daniel Jones having some amazing turnaround, which is not going to happen.
No,
you guys you've lost your pieces. Hard Knocks was embarrassing. I mean, it's just, people are leaving the team. So it's just, I can't pick them third. It is not because I'm trying to hurt you or anything like that. I just don't see them as above. They're a horrible team.
They are here.
I feel bad saying that because the NFC East and the NFL are better when the Eagles, when our division is firing, it's not just because we're loving it.
Yeah.
Our division
is
statistically, I'm not mistaken, the most competitive division in football. Yeah. All right. But it's not right now, but it has been that way for years.
Yes.
All right. And it's like, I believe the Eagles won the division last year, right? So it's the first time there was ever a back-to-back division winner in a long time.
Did you win the division last year? Or did you? No, you lost it on the last week of the season when you lost to us.
No. In my brain, we won that division.
Right? I thought Dallas won.
But no. In my brain, we won the division. I think you're right, actually.
And then you both lost in the wild card round.
Yeah, of course we did. NFC East,
the Packers
winners. And then that streak has gone on forever.
Yeah, it's been 20 years, almost 25 years.
Right, I'm looking at it right now. Wait, I think I'm right. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta find one of these things that makes sense. Is this real or is it not real? Of course, nothing is working now. Oh, that went all the way back to that year. Yeah, you're right. You might be right.
Not okay. Vamford Air, because now I could have sworn.
Am I right? I think I'm right.
No, I thought Dallas won last year. No, Dallas won last year.
Oh my God! So the streak continues.
Yeah, no, Dallas. Yeah, you guys, because you guys bleed. You guys choked against us.
Dallas won last year. So there has not been a back-to-back division winner in this division since 2004, which is 20 years.
That's been 20 years. Yeah, it's been 20 years.
And just in case anybody's wondering, this is how it goes from 2000. Giants, Eagles, 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 Giants, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Redskins, Eagles, Cowboys, Redskins, Cowboys, Eagles.
Commanders.
Yeah, no. Then it's Washington football team, Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys.
Yeah. At the time, Lee was being historically accurate to what they were called in that year.
Yes. Well, I don't mind saying it. Hey, listen. Yeah. The Redskins won the Super Bowl, not the Washington football team.
That's true. Way back when. Way back. Yeah. Super Bowl 26 was the last time Washington won.
Yeah. Long time
ago. Anyway, here's my thing. I will say this. I'm going to make a very bold statement. I think in the next 4 years, by the end of his rookie contract, Jaden Daniels will be the best quarterback in the NFC East.
Wow, that is a statement.
I think that's how talented he is. But the thing I worry about with Washington is I don't know if he has anything really around him right now, or enough around him right now.
That's fair.
Like I could see Washington being a 3-win team the same way that Peyton Manning as a rookie, the Colts were a 3-win team, but you could see that they were going to get really good really quick after another draft or two. And I feel that's where Washington is. That they are not going to have a good year this year, but that they could be very dangerous as soon as next year, if not the year after, as Jaden Daniels gets his reps. And again, I say this, look, no matter even if when the Giants do draft a new quarterback next year or the year after, I still think Jaden Daniels will be the guy in the NFC East in as soon as 3 to 4 years, and then probably Hurts, and Dak doesn't matter.
Dak doesn't matter, he says. Yes.
But right now, I just feel like the Giants could have 1 win, or they could get 7. Because the Giants, I really love what they've done with the defensive line. They added Brian Burns with Thibodeau now, Dexter Lawrence. The Giants have a very good defensive line and a very good line. The Giants have a very good front 7.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary is very young and somewhat susceptible. I'm not going to deny that. But they have a very good front 7. They have a new offensive line. The question, much like the Jets, the questions in New York are all about the quarterback. Is Daniel Jones going to step up or be what he's been since they drafted him, an absolute dumpster fire? I still think, mind you, the Giants' ceiling is 7 wins. That's their ceiling.
Right.
If they get 7 wins, though, I think that puts them ahead of Washington. And that's the thing.
I do not think you're going to accomplish that.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I think strength of schedule, things like that too, play into this. I know we're playing on the same teams.
I am going to be a Giants fan. I'm going to put the Giants 3rd. You'll probably be wrong.
Look, I hope you're not, but I think the Commanders are in a better situation than the Giants.
Oh, they're in a better situation for sure. But I think this year the Giants will still find a way to get another win or 2 over them.
Maybe.
So
not one of those stupid uniforms.
Oh, the New York, Montreal Canadian Giants.
Yep.
Oh, so ugly. Anyway, that's our football preview, folks.
Whoa, wild card.
Oh yeah, we need to think about the team. So
yeah.
So okay, Eagles. We're in Eagles, Lions, Niners. We're all in agreement on.
Yeah. I actually think this becomes pretty easy. It's Cowboys, Rams, Packers.
Yeah, that's actually very easy.
I think that's pretty easy. I mean, because the interchangeable part, right, is if we're wrong about the division winners, they replace them. So it's like that's how I look at it.
Yeah, the only thing we disagree on is who wins the South. That's it.
Yeah, well, and who bottoms out the East.
Sure, but that doesn't matter in terms of playoff picture.
I'll happily be wrong for you, but we'll see.
It's whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Honestly, it'd be better if we were in last place in terms of getting a draft pick. So
yeah, I would also say that with the wild card, there's potential, unlikely, but the Seahawks or the Bears could flirt with that.
Sure.
But I don't. I think it's Cowboys, Rams, Packers.
They would need to pull off an upset or two, particularly in the division.
I think it's more likely one of the other teams we're talking about has some major injuries.
Yes, I could see. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't wish this on him. I could see Matthew Stafford getting hurt again. Matthew Stafford getting hurt again.
We never wish for anybody to get injured. Yeah. I don't even wish for that against. I would never wish for. You're going to disagree, but I would never wish for Daniel Jones to get injured. All right, if you know what I mean. Yes. I don't wish that on anybody.
Sure. No, absolutely. It just. But that's our predictions for the NFL. We're pretty
much
put it
into the
usual.
stone. The gods of geekdom have spoken.
we're pretty much in agreement on almost everything.
Yeah,
so
because we're best friends. High five over the air.
Yeah. All right. Hey.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, so there you go. So that's all the football. A little more sports real quick before we move on to the geek stuff. This oh gosh, so Aaron Judge hit his 62nd home run in 2022 in Globe Life Stadium in Texas, which is the new stadium for the Texas Rangers that opened a few years ago. And to commemorate that, the Texas Rangers very nicely put a very nice plaque where the ball landed to kind of be like a little piece of baseball history.
Right
Aaron
here.
Judge set the American League home run record, and some would argue that the actual home run record, depending on how you feel about steroids, but set the American League home run record right here in Texas on this date. I mean, somebody, somehow, I don't even know how you go about doing this, ripped up and stole the plaque. So Texas installed another one. It got stolen a second time. And now Texas says the broken concrete will mark where Aaron Judge hit the home run because we are not putting a third plaque there. Lee, why would somebody steal the plaque twice? Do you really hate the Yankees that much?
Well, this is what's funny, Ray. This is and you're not going to be able to disagree with me here. It is likely someone local did it.
Sure. 100%.
But I would not put it past a Yankee fan to go down there and get it.
That's also true.
Look, I always say this. The Yankees have 29 other teams that hate them.
Yeah.
It could have been anyone. Anyone.
It's true. It could have been a Red Sox visiting Red Sox fan. Yeah.
I mean,
it could have been
anyone. I'm more curious about what is the fandom of the person who stole this plaque.
Yeah.
Was it the same person twice?
Yeah.
I mean, by the way.
Also, how did you get the tools into a stadium?
There's no camera. There's nothing on that part of the stadium. I don't believe it.
It had to have been done during off hours. I think it's a grounds crew person. I think because then they would have the tools. They'd have the talent.
I don't agree. I think it's more likely been done during a game. Because off hours, like if someone walks to that place, like there's cameras all around the stadium, security cameras. There's no way you can get in and out of that place without somebody seeing. You'd have to do it during a game. It's the only way you can get it out of there.
But you'd still have the cameras going all the time.
But here's what I'm trying to say to you is this: when there's 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70,000 people there,
I still think you'd be able to see somebody ripping a plaque out.
But would you notice it? Is my point. Like so I'm trying to say this, Ray.
Well, you'd be able to. Here's the thing: you'd be able to figure out when it happened when you noticed, the plaque is missing again.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Sure.
They didn't know he was gone for a while. Couldn't figure it out. Andy Dufresne.
You still have a small enough time frame.
Crawled to freedom through 400 yards of shit-smelling foulness. I can't even imagine. 400 yards. That's 4 football fields.
Yeah.
Okay, but this man just had to walk out. This is going to be a documentary on Netflix one day.
It will, but and honestly though, I think
they know exactly who took it. I think
it was an inside job.
It had to be. You can't just walk out with this thing. Is it a little one? No,
it's like the size of like my laptop.
Interesting.
It's
a great story. It's a great story.
It is a great story, but it was like the size of like a laptop, like 17, 18, a foot and a half by a foot.
I would not put it past a Yankee fan to steal that for themselves, a Red Sox fan to steal that, just to say no. There's a lot of ways this could happen here.
Could
have been a Phillies fan for all I know.
Less likely, but always possible. Always possible.
Phillies back on top, buddy. Back on top. They are firing on all cylinders, chasing down that top of the league performance with your Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani trying to be the first 50-50 man.
Yeah, he's amazing right now.
He looks like he's going to do it. He's 4 stolen bases and 6 home runs away. So, yeah, Philly's playing good. Yankees are the Yankees are the worst 80-win team I've ever seen at this point in the year. Like they really are.
Yeah,
Again, I've said it before. I say Baltimore and Philly are my picks for the World Series. I've said it before.
What did Boone say that pissed you off like 10 episodes ago? Just gotta play the games and see what was.
No, it's right there in front of us.
Right there in front of us.
It's right there in front of us. Yeah, the Yankees have been playing .500 since June 1st.
And it's right there in front of you, buddy. Just like
right
that plaque
there in front
was.
of us.
That plaque was right there in front of someone, and they said, "I'm not going to let it be there anymore."
Oh my God!
Look at this Judge plaque. This isn't Judge's stadium. They're all his stadium. All rise.
Yeah.
You can't hate Aaron Judge. Now, inevitably, through society, something will happen where people are going to try and vilify the guy. It always happens. But I like the guy right now, and I really hope that doesn't happen. They even tried to do that to Jeter, and it didn't work.
Nope. Just too good, just too nice. So, moving on now to some geekdom. We've got a little bit of video game news this week. We've got honestly,
more of a story than news.
Yeah, not a lot really going on. First off, Star Wars.
It says here in the outline, Star Wars Outlaws, that you're going to give some early impressions, but I think you need to give a story before you give the impressions. There's no way you're getting out of this episode without telling everybody your old man story here.
Look, it's not really an old man
story.
Get
off the lawn.
It's okay. So I
got a frantic phone call from Ray. A very sad Ray.
There's a point in the game where, so again, very, very video gamey, where there's there's two upgrades to your blaster. The standard blaster goes pew, 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 right? Does damage.
What does it go like?
Pew, 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 pew.
Just making sure I got that down. Yeah.
There we go. That's more of a blaster noise. But anyway, there's an ion upgrade, which ion, obviously, it stuns enemies, but also can charge up electrical things. And then there's a thing called the power bolt. The power bolt, you charge it up, and it can destroy destructible walls. Again, very, very video gamey, right? You get this upgrade, opens up new areas.
Very Star Wars gamey, too.
Yeah, especially Star Wars gamey, yes. But like gamey in general, it's very Metroid. It's all that stuff. I get the power bolt, and for whatever reason, the upgrade will not work when I'm playing the game.
Blasphemy, Ray.
It will not work.
How could the game developers make such a mistake that you cannot advance the game without this?
And the thing is, here's where the mistake comes in. I'll get to it. So I go back to the ion, it works. I go back to the regular blaster, it works. And I'm like, why won't the right trigger work when I play the game? Now, for those who don't know, the Xbox Series X, which is what I'm playing on, you can use your Xbox One controllers with the Xbox Series X. And my Xbox Series X controller that I used to use got some stick drift, which if anyone who plays video games knows that's basically when you play so many video games that the stick never really truly gets back to its original position. So there's always, it's always off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to my Xbox One controller, and every game I've played with my Xbox One controller and Xbox Series X has been perfectly fine, because my Xbox One controller still works. But there's a difference between the Xbox One controller and the Xbox Series X controller. There's also the same difference between the PS4 controller and the PS5 controller. It's a generational thing. There's a thing called haptic feedback. For those who don't know, that's when you pull the trigger and there's actual feedback. Kind of like when the Rumble Pack was originally introduced, whenever you get feeling in it, the controller shakes, you now get that when you pull the triggers. My guess is that for whatever reason, this mechanic in Star Wars Outlaws was tied to the haptic feedback. And because my Xbox One controller did not have haptic feedback, it was not recognizing the pew pew, right?
The boom boom.
The boom boom of the pew pew, right? It recognized the pew pew. It recognized the pew pew. It did not recognize the boom boom.
Nope.
Right?
No boom boom. Pew pew.
No boom. Pew pew. No boom.
Different, but same.
Yes, exactly. Same button, different function. This also goes back to one of the problems. My one big problem with the game is in general the user interface. They're like, we give you all this stuff to do, but we only have so many buttons. It's a little bit of an issue. It doesn't always work well, but we'll get into that. So obviously, so somebody gave me the idea. Actually, they were talking to them, and they're like, you should maybe try my Xbox Series X controller, and that's when I found out that when I changed the controller, suddenly the mechanic worked. I do not know why Ubisoft did not code this for older controllers, or if it was a Microsoft thing, but if you're going to have a system, and I wonder if this also works with PC, because obviously Xbox controllers also work for a lot of PC players. A lot of PC players will use Xbox controllers on a PC if it works on that build. It's basically a compatibility issue. It's a minor thing, but yours truly, of course, always has a habit of finding the things that will break the game. I'm very good at it. People should hire me more often.
I
I
agree.
am available. Folks, if you knew some of the games that I worked on that I helped make suck less before they came out, you'd be like, oh, Ray, thank you. Thank you so much. Because all I do is find everything that's broken.
We need to make a mini clip out of this.
Yes.
To help you hire Ray, and your game will be better today.
100%.
Okay.
I do what they call mock reviews. I do consultations. I do this all the time. And I've never had any complaints. Everybody loves my work because I'm not.
Everybody loves Raymond.
I'm not tuning my own horn here. Nobody plays more games than I do. And that's a good thing when it comes to making games. Anyway.
I agree.
So I found a
the
bug.
Pew Pew work now. The boom boom.
It works now, and now I can keep playing Star Wars Outlaws.
Ray,
I'm very happy
Ray called
overall,
me very sad. He said, quote, I went back to a save point 5 hours earlier in the game, played it all again, and it didn't work. And I said, man, that's some dedication, you poor bastard.
First off, I have nothing else going on right now in my life. It's very sad about
Hey, you're on the other thing going on in your life, right?
Yeah.
You're all listening. Show Lay some love. Text them when you listen to this point. So
there's 140 other hours in the week, unfortunately, where there's nothing else going on.
That's fair.
And for folks who know, I have been looking forward to this game so much for so long.
Yeah, me too.
I was so happy. And look, I found a bug. The good news is I fixed the bug. I figured out what was the bug, and I fixed it. And now I'm playing again, and I am absolutely adoring this world. I absolutely love it. Is it game of the year? No. Is it a lot of fun? Is it worth $70? Yes. Right now, I'm not going to score. I don't want to give it a score right now, but I'm very much enjoying it. There's so much to do. The 4 worlds you can visit are beautiful. They're massive. If you like collecting stuff, you will have a wonderful time. We talked a lot about with the Acolyte, with a TV show, how bad bloat is,
right? And
vamping. And I will say, you could say that there's a lot of collectibles and a lot of stuff to search for that can sometimes be the video game equivalent. But because, at least for me, because you're immersed in that world, because you are so entrenched in that experience, that kind of bloat doesn't bother me. Because it's like, I want to go looking for more doodads and baubles and collectibles and stuff, because I want to continue to inhabit this world.
Right.
And I think that's the big difference between video games and television. Because again, or in movies, right? With TV and movies, it is a passive experience. So if I'm watching something, I want you to get to the damn point. And don't use dumb parent trap gimmicks, Acolyte. With Star Wars, with our Outlaws, I'm in the world. I'm in Kay Vess's shoes. And there's also no dumb parent trap gimmick. But also, I don't mind just exploring around every nook and cranny, because I want to see, it's like I'm experiencing those nooks and crannies myself. And so I don't mind bloat in a game like this, as opposed to a TV show, which is more passive. But I will say, if that is not your thing, there is a lot of that here. But if you are like me and you love finding collectibles and you love expanding the lore and you love the deep cuts, and there are some deep cuts here, because again, this takes place between Empire and Return of the Jedi. There are some deep cuts.
Favorite one?
Gosh, I love it.
Favorite deep cut? Go.
Do you want me to spoil it?
Is it a spoiler? Or is it just like
I mean, I think it's kind of known. There is an achievement tied to it. Like, my favorite thing was playing Sabacc against Lando so far.
That's pretty cool.
Like, that's pretty cool. Like, by the way, playing Sabacc, I much like with Gwent for The Witcher, I could play Sabacc all day long if they did a Sabacc game. It was so fun playing the Sabacc game, the mini game. I'm still playing it more. I love Sabacc. I love Sabacc in this. It's so much fun. It's the best mini game ever. People are like, what about fishing? Screw your fishing. I know people out there. Fishing? I know you people out there who think fishing is the best thing mini game you can do in a video game. No, Sabacc.
Right, I will say that I caught the eel in Ocarina of Time, which is a very rare achievement.
And I understand. We all went very much.
But it wasn't my favorite game ever.
And for a lot of people, that fishing minigame is the start of their fishing obsession and fishing minigames across video gamedom.
Yes.
Sabacc is better.
Sabacc is better, but I did catch that eel.
Yeah,
Not many people caught the eel.
No. But no, I'm enjoying. Look, I'm really enjoying Star Wars Outlaws, and it's a beautiful game.
I'm going to have to try it. I'm going to have to give it a try because it's Star Wars.
I mean, it's if you love Star Wars, you're already in. Look, I'll say this: the major story beats are a little color by number, right? They're a little like, okay, it's kind of like a heist movie, like we get it, like, okay, put together a crew, like it's a little basic, but putting it in the Star Wars universe, balancing the relationships between the Hutts and the Pikes and the Crimson Dawn and all these other criminal factions so that they don't try to collect on your death mark, and just so you can experience the game better. Like it's so much better if you have to steal something from the Pikes, but you can walk right in the front door because you have a good relationship with the Pike boss, right? Like it's just amazing. Like and then you play the game completely differently. Infiltrating Imperial outposts is phenomenal.
Do they have any Easter eggs in terms of who's running like Crimson Dawn?
They mentioned Kira once so far.
Interesting.
But they have not gone deeper than that yet. At least
nothing yet. With Maul or anything yet.
Not yet. No. Again, I haven't beaten the game yet. I'm not completely.
He's also dead at that point, so there's a lot of things that could be happening there.
I'm probably a third of the way through the game now because again I did lose progress because I went back and replayed 5 hours because I thought I would because of the bug because I didn't realize it was a controller compatibility issue. Ubisoft, Microsoft.
I'm just glad that you figured it out.
Me too.
I will say this. You mentioned this just kind of. If I may divert real quickly within Star Wars to television shows,
yes,
there was a very popular thread online about Acolyte Season 2 being canceled, how upset everybody is.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yes, and I wrote this, and it got a ton of traction. I said, it's real simple. Just call a new show Darth Plagueis the Wise, not Acolyte Season 2, and you solve the problem.
Yeah.
And people would watch it.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Disney. God, it's not that hard. Just make it.
And that's the thing. And just get rid of the whole OSHA May.
You don't have to bring it back. They're happily ever after someplace else. All right. That's just how it goes. Yeah. Actually, we told you where you should put them. You should drop them off on Darthamir.
Yeah.
That way you could have what's his name come back.
Yeah.
Because he's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. The guy I forgot his Kamir, right?
Kamir, yeah.
Yeah. He said it's his life goal to make them make season 2. That's why I'm bringing this up. I said just make Darth Plagueis the Wise and be a minor character. Move on with their lives. Anyway, Star Wars has done something right. Every time Star Wars does something wrong, they do something right.
Yes. Well, and it's no surprise that the thing that Kathleen Kennedy hates the most, and therefore she keeps the farthest away from her, which is video games. That's true, folks. That is true. She has said how much she hates the video games. So she had very little to do with them. So people who knew what they were doing were like, we're going to make something awesome.
And they did.
So yeah, really wish Kathleen Kennedy would stop messing with Star Wars. I know that's kind of hard because she's in charge of it, but like she's really the worst person for
Only
it.
for now. I think she's stepping aside. I think Filoni will be in charge.
Oh, I hope so. Please,
I think they're making moves for that. Yes.
Please let that happen soon. But yeah, other little bit of tidbit of video game news. See, I'm enjoying all Outlaws overall. Other little bit of video game news. Not good. Never. I mean, we called it, but not good. Half of Rocksteady got laid off yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those situations where it probably had to happen. They're not meeting expectations, but it still always sucks to hear, especially in today's video game environment.
Partially because the people at Warner Brothers made them make something they didn't want to make. And now the developers are paying the penalty, but also, yeah, they didn't execute because the game sucked. It's a bad corporate decision that ended up trying to be executed by the people below the corporate level. And those folks kind of got a Herculean task. They couldn't do it. And that's what happens. And it's a shame because, again, Warner Brothers, if they would just get out of their own dang way, the similar way Kathleen Kennedy should just get out of the way of Star Wars, things would be better for everybody. Yeah, so Rocksteady laid off half their staff this week, which is a sin. And also, this was also shocking. Breaking news this morning. Concord, a new game from Sony that released on August 23rd. Sony announced that they are already pulling the plug and they will refund everyone who bought the game. They said the final day that you'll be able to play it is this Friday, September the 6th. So the game was alive because it's an online multiplayer game. It was alive for 2 weeks. And then Sony said, oh my God, this is a disaster. What have we done? You're all getting refunds. We're killing this game. So, and it's a shame because it sounds like it wasn't a bad game. It was just terribly, terribly marketed. And because of that, nobody played it because it's another hero shooter in an oversaturated market of hero shooters. So that's a sin, but probably you're going to probably hear about more people losing their jobs soon on that front. So yeah, so that was the story. That was the news today. So good job, Sony, screwing it up again. What else is new?
Boo.
Anyway, that's a solid show.
Solid show. A lot of NFL, but that's what you come when you get Geeks Who Like Sports. Sometimes it's more geekdom, sometimes it's more football, sometimes it's more something else. But today's show has been fun. This weekend's mashup is going to be really good. Which sports time period would be the best open world, Ray? You're talking about Star Wars, Outlaws, and going to every nook and cranny and exploring this bulbous world so that you can experience it firsthand. We're going to talk about what sports world and time period Ray Carsillo would want to be part of. It's not right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's a spoiler alert. Let's find out.
Yes. So stay tuned this weekend for the mashup.
Mashup!
There we go. There it is. But until then, thanks for listening as always, everybody, or watching. We really appreciate it. And for Lee, I'm Ray, and this has been another edition of Geeks Who Like Sports.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.